Hey, what's going on, guys? Greg Jenkins here with Monkeypod Marketing, and I have another Infusionsoft tip du jour. Hopefully, an Infusionsoft tip that will make your life easier. So, this one was inspired by a question in the Infusionsoft Open User Group. Shout out to Annabelle, who asked about cleaning up duplicate tags. So, if you have been an Infusionsoft user for really any amount of time, you probably have noticed that tags can accumulate quickly, and occasionally you end up with two tags that serve the same function. So if you want to clean up tags just to help keep your database and your reports more reliable and things neat and tidy, there are a few ways to do it. So you see I have tag A, B, C, and D, and then I have duplicates for each of these tags, and some contacts have the real ones and some contacts have the duplicates, right? So the easiest way, if you just have one duplicate tag, is to search for, tag A duplicate, and then go ahead and once you have found those people, select them and apply the actual tag. Okay, so these are in my test tags category. So you would apply tag A. So anyone who had the duplicate tag would now also have the actual tag. And that's it. Once you have done that, you can delete the duplicate tag. You want to verify that anywhere the duplicate tag was being applied has been replaced with this. But you can do that and you'll be fine. You've replaced the duplicate tag with the authentic tag, and you should have things cleaned up there. Now, sometimes that's not realistic. Sometimes you've got dozens of these, and it doesn't make sense to do that. So you may need to do a contact export and make sure that you include the tag and tag ID fields, and then you may want to do a what's called a modify existing records. It's a specific type of import that allows you to update your existing contacts using information from a spreadsheet. And you can manipulate the data on the spreadsheet using Excel or Google Sheets to do like a find and replace, and effectively swap out all of the duplicate tags with whatever the actual tag should be using that route. If you don't want to handle this in Excel, if you would prefer to handle it in Infusionsoft, there's one more option that I've never done this, but it occurred to me when I saw Annabelle's question that maybe this would work. So what we'll do is we'll actually just build a campaign for this purpose. So I'm going to call this campaign, duplicate tag cleanup, something like that. And basically, we're just going to create a tag goal listing for tag A duplicate, right? And we'll set that up real quick. So tag A duplicate, and then we'll add a sequence after it, and this will be real tag A. So effectively, anyone who has the duplicate tag will achieve that tag goal. They will pop into this sequence, and they will get the actual tag A that they should have had. So what this is going to do is when we repeat this process, it's going to help us find anyone that currently has one of my duplicate tags, right? And it's going to swap it out with whatever tag they should have had. Now, the reason this works, and some of you are probably wondering this, is because these tag goals will work retroactively. So when I publish this campaign, it's going to give me a message that says, hey, Greg, I noticed that some people already have the tags that you've listed, and they haven't yet been in this campaign. So when you publish a campaign for the first time, if there are people who should have been in this campaign based on meeting the tag goals, the system will give you the option of adding those people, okay? So that is unique to the tag goal method. It actually doesn't do that for any of the other goal types. So if you have a purchase goal and somebody has bought that thing in the past, right, you would think that it could potentially find those people and draw them in, but it doesn't. It only does that for tags. I'm just going to stick with the first three here. Don't need to do the same thing for tag D. I think you can see the pattern here. You see where this is going. You would just rinse and repeat, copy and paste for each of your duplicate tags and make sure that it is applying the correct tag. Now, before I do this, I should point out if any of these three tags, A, B, or C, happens to trigger automation, if these are trigger tags for any of my other campaigns, when the contacts are brought in and then they are subsequently tagged, it will launch the automation associated with tags A, B, and C. So you just need to consider, is that okay? What is that automation? Is it relevant, or is it something that I'm worried about, right? So let's go ahead and publish this. And you should see a message here that gives me the option to bring in 10 contacts that meet these tag goals and have never been in this campaign. So let's go ahead and click Add Contacts. and the system does its thing, it's processing, but in a moment here, we'll be able to refresh, and we should see, 5 people and then like 2 people and 3 people, or some breakdown of those 10 contacts achieving these goals and going into these sequences where that step is running and the appropriate tag is being applied in its place. So there we go. We got 5 people, 3 people, 2 people. They've all gone into their appropriate sequences. And now that you have done that, you know that anyone who had the duplicate tag now has the actual tag. So you can go back here. You can select the duplicate tags, and you can choose actions and delete. And let's go ahead and get rid of those duplicate tags. Now, like I said, this exact process may not work for you depending on your circumstances, but for me, I had never gone this route, and I thought, hey, that's kind of a clever way to save myself a few steps. So if this is useful, then hopefully the Infusionsoft tip du jour makes your life a little bit easier. If you have any feedback or a different way of handling this, just let me know. Later.